All right, speculators, let's fire up the Futures Fanatic live stream for the afternoon. Let's see, starting, it is Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. Want to take a moment, make sure that you read this risk disclosure and disclaimer. I got to make it a little bigger. Hold on. I don't want to get in trouble for keeping it small. It could get bigger. It might grow. Something might grow. Ooh, that's a little too much. There we go. So just got to read the middle part there. Presentation is for educational purposes only. The opinions expressed are those of the presenter only. That's me. All trades presented should be considered hypothetical and should not be expected to be replicated in a live trading account. Nothing contained herein shall be construed as investment advice or a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument or make any investment decision. All opinions, analysis, and predictions are subject to change without notice. I could go long. I could go short. I could fool you into thinking I'm in some position that I'm not. All right. As soon as you come in and someone's watching, if you can give me a little one for picture and sound, that would be great. I appreciate it. Usually there's a little delay there. I'm fortunate that I've passed a couple more apexers today, so that was nice. So I'll be up to, I don't know what it is. Let me go, I gotta go up here. Take this down here. Still doing the wire-to-wire challenge also, but starting the session, I am only long some Dow Jones right off basically the minus ones. It should have been, if I was down here at 44,261, I wouldn't have gotten a fill. I knew it was you, Phil. All right, now what I have to do is I have to remove the accounts that have passed from all of the replication groups so that I don't keep trading them. What do you call it? And 69 here. 69, baby. All right, Dow Jones, 58 and 69. Nasdaq, let's make sure we close everything. And then we got to go turn off 69 and turn off 58. Gold, same thing. Gold, let's make sure we close everything. No more trading in gold for today.
Order canceled.
All right. So we'll just watch this Dow Jones over here, and then watch the Nasdaq over here. I'm still looking to get short Nasdaq on pops. Haven't been a believer all day. It's been able to run a little bit. Oh my goodness! All right, this has to go down here. Here we go. That's going to go down there. There we go. All right. Got it all under control. All right, thank you everybody for picture and sound. Appreciate it. It's your first day joining on the stream. I'm trading quite a bit of stuff, but predominantly focused on these prop programs over here. Down in a couple accounts, past a few accounts. A little bit of a mixed bag today. Key to everything is to control the daily risk budget. So this one is pretty much sitting on there. I'm in these bonds that are down $300. So $440 is the daily risk budget. In fact, I am going to be forced to close these right now.
Order filled. Order filled.
So those suffered the hands of a treasury market that declined significantly here today. On the Dow Jones, we are an outside day down, means we're trading below the prior session's low, which generally works out to be trades that are a little easier to handle and manage. I wanted to grab for those of you that are not part of my trade room or my community or haven't been on trial or anything, I wanted to grab for you, it sounds weird, grab at you. I'm going to put this in the chat right now. That's a Trader Talk Tuesday, which we did today, with one of our members, Mark Yu. And it's one thing for someone like me who's a content creator, and say what you will about me and the content I create and the strategies, or don't like my voice or whatever. The key, if anybody is quote unquote selling anything, of which I do, which is a trade room, the most important thing I think is what is the success of people that are in there, part of the community, and applying themselves. So one of the things that that Mark mentioned today is, and I almost fell out of my chair because I don't hear this very often, is that he trade journals every single day. And what I want to do is show you, as I had up in the, if you watch that replay, you can't watch it now, but these are his payouts. Now, there's a lot of places where you will see low 5-figure, low 3-4-figure payouts from all types of people, right? But it's the path, it's the way they got there. How many accounts did they blow up before? What was their emotional capital? What's their trading strategy? All those kinds of things. Is it something that you could actually do? So what I encourage everyone to do is to listen to that trader talk, because what you'll find out is that he did this with 5 $50,000 accounts. Let me say that again. That's 5 $50,000 accounts. So each of those accounts, when you start, has about a $2,500 drawdown. And he has the balances on those accounts up high enough that he has withdrawn about $30,000, I believe he said, or maybe $60,000 for the year. So that is very different from this bozo thing that I'm doing over here, which I do to show what's possible, right? So, and I even asked him, hey, why don't you buy some from somewhere else and copy and do some other things? His answer is very refreshing. He's doing what works for him and controlling just, 100% focus, right? You have 5 accounts from one firm. Use a copier just across those 5 accounts, and you can put up those kinds of numbers. It's phenomenal. So anyway, I encourage folks to take a look at, to have a listen to that. I am going to gracefully exit, which means just sort of break even on this right here.
Filled.
On my Dow as it comes up.
Order submitted.
We're farting around a little bit here, coming off the absolute bottom, and now I have the opportunity to buy the flat out -2s, which would be 256, which would be new lows for the day. New lows for the day.
Order filled. Position synchronized.
Down here on the Express funded accounts over on Top Step, I lost $52. And I have some orders resting up to sell up at the top, but didn't do much on those today. Imagine it'll likely be pretty slow, so if you have any questions that you'd like to fire off, please do. If it's your first time joining the stream, again, I highly recommend that you check out the, let me just go to YouTube and show you everything that's in the description of these streams, because I know sometimes people punch a bunch of junk in there, but 743 people are watching Matt, not me. I'll be on here so I can continue to grow the audience. So on this video, on this one that we're watching right here, a bunch of junk in there, but I want to make you aware that I have an ebook called Prop Done Right. You can see it in the right-hand corner of the screen there too. The trial is 10 days. It's free. I have a 30 video course, and you can also join our Discord. I do have the obligatory, or not so obligatory, but links to a variety of different prop firms. If you use my code, it does help support the channel and keeps me in the manner I've been accustomed to. The one I'm really focused on right now is PropShop, because PropShop is where I'm doing my wire-to-wire challenge. And if you watch some of my live streams from last week, you saw what I was doing there as well, which is I bought 10 of the straight to funded accounts. So anyhow, there's some good stuff down there. Please check it out if you're so inclined. Might do a little trading in the Nasdaq just because the Dow is so boring right now, or maybe the MES here. Get some orders to rest to buy the -2 touch, which is 62.90s.
Order submitted.
There's a good amount of distance to fall into this bid zone. If we are really being patient, you wait for a move down into this bid zone. You can also consider selling puts down here. But again, that link is to MES is on the T line. Yeah, it's just a little bit below it. So yeah, hovering here at T line. This is a T line's a 233 EMA. Just a quick way to determine trend. As I mentioned in the subject line for today, we had sort of a 1-2 punch last night. The announcement about NVDA being able to sell chips back into China had this this big pop and then a drop. So this was the pop and drop right here. The whole profile is outside day up. This is important. There's a lot of traders that when you're outside day up, if you're going to do range trading, you just take a snow day because we're outside the range, right? All of this is new all-time highs, right, in the Nasdaq. So for range trading, you want to wait till it comes back in. You don't have to. Again, I talk about frameworks and developing situational fluency. This concept of having sticky notes all over your screen and having rules. The rules for the strategy. The only rule is don't lose money. But there's many traders that would be well served if they're trading mean reversion to not fight, especially on the upside. Strength is very difficult to fade, so just wait till it comes in. But you know me, I couldn't resist, so I was short most of the day, especially on all these tests of POC. Developing POC, which will be, this is going to be the POC, it's not going to change. So 23,156, kind of new line in the sand. 23,156 right here as well. Go, Dow. Give me one in the chat if you're long Dow with me here, or if you're long, not with me, just long Dow yourself. Long Dow. So my situation, as I showed before, is for almost 2.5 years, everybody, I passed and just canceled. accounts from so many firms, and mostly I was using Apex. As you can see, these are 258, 256, 58, 59, 60, and 61 I funded. And now these ones I'll fund as well, and I'll get up to just 20 funded PA accounts, and then I'm just going to keep them essentially forever. And I did that specifically because I do know there was some payout denial problems, and there was some issues with Apex. There's been issues with other firms, and I want to be able to know 100% of the time, not because I'm an influencer, not because I have their cell phone number, that if you trade in this risk-adjusted, responsible manner, first of all, you can make $15,000 in profits in trading micros. This account 265 just passed today. That's $15,000 trading micros. It took me about 2 or 3 months, maybe a little longer. These are very close, and then this one passed today as well. So the number of PAs that I'm on are 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, and then I'll get up to, and that's all the PAs I've ever had, not PA number 200 or PA 100, 150, and it's not how you do this, gang. Just you don't have to do it that way. This account's up $716 today trading micros. Only micros. Okay. And we'll see what happens with this Dow trade. Long one Dow and long ES. Okay, cool. I'm going to keep repeating myself with this. Nazi's going. I'll mess around a little bit with some Nazi over here in these accounts.
Order filled. Order submitted.
These are what do you call it? These are
order filled. Order filled. Order submitted. Order filled.
All right, get long the Nazi there in the bid zone. If you're going to do that, you need to have the risk budget to add at the -2s. So that's where I'll do. You just put the order on the line.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
So now long Dow and long, go Dow, and long a little bit of Nazi. There you go. I love it. Ping Pang, the Pumpkin King. All I'm doing, folks, the advice, what I'm preaching, what I'm saying on these things is just giving you simple math. And just familiarizing everybody with how futures really work and what real margin is. And the fact that you can't trade a mini in a $2,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 account. And when I say that, my editing guys have been creating content out of this because I have to repeat myself, and they're creating a lot of the same content. And I'm shocked how many people are replying with, what, 10,000, 20,000 to trade one? That's insane. There's day trader margins. And day trader margins are just as evil as the over leveraging that the prop firms are allowing you to do. They say you don't have to use it, but I think they're providing way too much horsepower. It's a lot like saying, hey, here's this Formula One car. You don't have to floor it and down the straightaway, but you can if you want. If you think you know what you're doing, you can control it. And yet no one's even running, driven a car in F3 or F2, whatever analogy we want to use. So it is a little irresponsible to have that much buying power, but that's the way the programs are set up. But what you have to realize is that it's not if or could you or what have you. If you can't push the button and go long the ES mini in a real live account with $6,000 in it, or $7,000 in it, or $8,000 in it, or $11,000 in it, you not only you should not be able to do that in a prop account either. It's teaching you improper use of leverage. So anyway, thank you, Pumpkin King. But all I'm saying to everybody is you just have to trade the instruments that are appropriate for risk-adjusted trading. And as I mentioned in the interview that I did today, it's not an interview, a chat that I had with one of our members, I had trading education companies for 10 years and no one had success. I didn't teach anything real different. The key difference was two things. One, it was people's own real money, which is just butthole pucker time. And two, and more important, everyone was undercapitalized. There was day trader margin. It wasn't quite as significant as it is now. I think they let you trade a mini with like 2,500 or something like that, 2,500, not 500 like they have now with these day margin. It might have dropped to 500 at one point. I think AMP has had that for a while. But regardless, people had their own money and everyone was over leveraged. It was an all or nothing decision every single time, because for any kind of safe risk management or prudent risk management, you hit the buy button or the sell button and it's $50 per point. Woof, just move 4 points in a heartbeat, $200, half or more of their daily risk budget. I was teaching the same concept of daily risk budget. So with a $5,000 or $10,000 account, if someone had $10,000, they had a $1,000 daily risk budget. You can rip through $1,000 like a hot knife through butter with a mini on. So as a result, no one was able to properly manage risk. People weren't able to scale in and out of positions. People weren't able to do exploratory price trading, which is something I won't even get into on this call. But you can do exploratory stuff now by using a few accounts in your prop program, not to do something stupid, but just put on some trades at various different levels, all within the constructs of an overall risk-adjusted strategy and approach. Yeah, Jack's mentioning he had some sort of $300 special mini. And what's wild is that those are regulated NFA members and CFTC regulated futures brokers that are allowed to extend someone a $300 mini for an ES or whatever. It's freaking criminal. So, just don't fall for it. And especially what I don't quite understand is there's a lot of people that will go, well, the commissions are so much more, whatever. Well, first of all, you're not trading 10 or even 5, you're trading 3 or 4. Yes. So guess what? The commissions on 2 or 3 micros are about the same as 1 mini for a third of the leverage, but who cares? That's all you should be trading. So you're basically trading the same thing, just with proper leverage in terms of your actual costs. I have explained that to people hundreds of times, and they still want to argue with me. Well, no, they're just more. It's all in, all out. It's $1.25 for a micro, or $1.52 for a micro, and it's only $4.95 for a full mini. Okay, but what if I'm just trading 1 micro? Am I saving money? Is $1.50 less than $5? All right. Can I get your thoughts on ETF? I think they're fine. They're fine. I've had a few disagreements with them over the years, and I'm not the type of person out there that has enough data to comment on anything that I'm not actively involved with. So since I don't trade with them, and I no longer promote them, and I don't even have an affiliate code that works anyway, there's so much more choice. So for instance, PropShop, I can 100% recommend. You might not. Anytime I recommend anything, obviously, everybody, do your own due diligence and realize that there's only so much we could ever know about. Do you think any of the people over at Profit Trade, other than Tofik and maybe a few other people were aware that they were about to go under 2 days later? No. Not even any of the people that worked there. So, long-winded way of saying, I would go with PropShop instead of ETP. Here we go, Nazi. Gang, I have a whole video on it, so I won't comment anything more. You can watch the video on where I rank all the prop firms, and nothing's really changed other than the fact that PropShop wasn't out at the time, and now PropShop's out, and I would put it in the A category. Yeah, Thumper is mentioning having a $300,000 account. You got it up to 312. That was not with micros, I'm almost sure, right? So you're slinging around some size with minis. It's another reason to just do this properly. You just, smaller numbers are just easy on your emotional capital. I started out, if you're just joining the stream, please watch go up in the chat and find the link that I mentioned to the discussion I had today with one of our trade members, okay? Go give that a listen. We have in our Discord, we have a payout channel in our Discord. And what makes up this payout of $8,500 here so much more significant than if you see it from Rips or Patrick Whalen or even me or anything, is that when you hear the story behind how this is generated, it's on a risk-adjusted basis. It's from a guy that journals every single day, good days, bad days, has the data, understands the quantitative and qualitative nature of the business that he's in. And it's not just him. Look at what Janelle's pulling out of Bullinox as well. Go, Nazi. Let me take a screenshot of this and show you the most important part of P&L porn. Okay. Whoops. Okay, I'm going to open this in the image editor. Okay. So this account has passed today. Awesome. Trading only micros. Okay. This account has also passed today. Okay. Now we're going to draw some rectangles around the more important thing, which is these two accounts, which are just evals. That's my daily risk budget on those accounts is $440. If you can do this and always do this, if you can do this, if you have the patience and the discipline, not patience, the discipline. The patience is to trade micros to get to this balance. Because now these counts that are 250,000, what a joke. Let's call them $5,000 accounts, $6,000 accounts. You only have to get the balance to $6,000, not to $15,000, to like $600 or $6,500, and then these will cash flow like these are cash flowing right now. So this is the key right here. that. You have to be able to do this. You do this and all this shit takes care of itself. And that is what Mark will talk about in that in that chat that we had this morning. All right, working our way a little bit lower here. The dotted yellow line right here is a 233 EMA. So I apply it to this chart, but it's not used for anything. It's used for some algorithms that I have. And I can explain the algo logic to you very quickly. So since we use the 233 EMA as a trend filter, and this is on a tick chart, so it's gonna hug price a lot more than on a 30-minute chart, right? So the T line on the 30 on the Nasdaq is down here at 22,994. You know, just below 23,000. So we're obviously in a strong uptrend in the Nasdaq. But here, the logic behind the algos when I'm running them, and I rarely run them anymore on Stay in Your Lane, but is as soon as we break through and change trend, in other words right here, then the algo will increase size on signals. Okay, so for instance, if we were above this line and we were shorting, it takes 1/3 the size, if that makes sense. So if we had short signals, we would trade 3 contracts, whereas if we had short signals up here, we'd only trade 1. And the opposite is true, of course, for longs. If you have a long signal below the T line, it trades 1 contract. If you have a long signal above the T line, it trades 3 contracts.
Connection lost.
Have I tested any of the Tickblaze indicators? Tickblaze is offering a number of different indicator packages and things from their sister company Arc. I have not, because I just don't have time to do any of that stuff. So I have over here on, what I've done is built the exact same thing. See how this looks just like, this is Tickblaze right here. I built the exact same strategies on Tickblaze. So if we wanted to trade over here on Tickblaze, we could, because I have the same position on here on Tickblaze. I'm long 2 Dow Jones. And what I would do is put an order down here. And for a while, everybody, I was saying, hey, you got to buy PropShop to get my desktop. But I keep just giving and giving and giving and giving and giving away. So you don't have to buy anything. Just look at the description down below. It'd be great if you could use my code if you decide to do business with PropShop. TDG, code TDG for directs, code TDG-EVAL for evals. And then just go ahead and download this workspace. It's called a desktop. And gang, it's one click. One click. It won't be missing anything. It won't say you're not licensed for this or licensed for that. Tickblaze is free. So, and look, is Tickblaze as good as Ninja yet? Not yet. Some of you might hate Ninja as it is. So now remember, it's thick client. It's going to be thick client probably for another year. There'll be some web-based stuff at some point, but it's getting really, really good. And overall, I've needed an alternative to Ninja for 15 years. So the alternative to Ninja is here, and I need something that can do essentially exactly what I've done in Ninja, and I keep it pretty simple. So the one thing I can tell you is that pretty soon for members, we'll also have the extreme turn indicator, which is the only indicator. I don't sell any indicators or indicator packages or strategies or signals or anything like that. All I offer is a trade room. We run some sales from time to time where you can join the trade room for about $800 for the whole year. I'm not very good at math, but I think that that's less than $100 a month. Let's do the math. 800 divided by 12. You can do the math. It ends up being less than $5 per trading day. And it's Monday through Friday. And you can check it out. And if you think you'll find value in it, then you know what you're getting. Not some course that most people won't even finish or even start. And if you're a real baller and just go with lifetime, I'll be here for as long as it takes until Bitcoin hits 1 million. When Bitcoin hits 1 million, I'm retiring. I could retire now, but when Bitcoin hits 1 million, I'm retiring. All right, go, baby. All right, I'm going to just scale out of these. Your target on these is VWAP. So what you can do when you're trading multiple accounts and stuff like that is take profit in a couple of them and then let the other one run. So one thing that I mention sometimes when people say, why, prop sucks and all this multi-account's all bullshit and why not just trade your own account, whatever. Well, real quick, yes, you should have a live account. Have a live account with a small amount of money in it, and then learn these kinds of strategies and how you can cash flow a small live account on your own. Because then you can take profits whenever you want. You can do whatever you want. There's no rules, whatever. But one of the actual advantages from a guy that I don't know has only been doing this 31 years is I like the fact that I can now walk forward test in real time different risk management and trade management because I have this drop down with all these silly accounts in it. Right? You can't do that with a single account, right? How do I do that? How do I take profit in every decision within one account is binary, right? 0 or 1. I'm pretty sure I have this in I have it in these accounts too, right? So we can same thing.
Order filled.
Sell it in one, sell it in another one,
Filled.
and then let this one run. The other thing I could do is like this, where I do a OCO, and I put in a sell stop and a target.
Order submitted.
Obviously, that doesn't have any ATM logic associated with it, so it's not trailing or anything like that. So you have the ability with these prop programs, if you have some multiple accounts, you can walk forward test different trade management. You can, and I've said this before on some other streams, you can be your scared little normal self that's all butthole pucker and scared on every single one, and as soon as it goes into profit, even tiny bit, take profit in 1 or 2 of your 3 accounts. And then you've already taken profit in 2 of the 3, then on that last one, just wait for the bigger target or run a stop. Or try something even different. Like, how about on this one that instead of
order canceled,
running a sell stop, I'm going to layer back in
order submitted
on a touch of a pullback to the -1. I'm going to layer back in at these swing levels. I'm going to layer back in down here.
Order submitted.
Remember, I'm not trading in 2 different directions or doing anything like that. I already took profit in these other 2 accounts. Not that account, because that account was at the max loss for the day. All right. Where's the interview I did today? It is, just scroll up in the chat. It's the first link, and it's the first link up there, and right after the link, I put in Trader Talk Tuesday. I'd rather not put it in here every single moment, so just go up there. Answer the question about Tickblaze. Check down below. You can get my full desktop for free. When you buy at -2, when do you take profit? Let's say you're up 20 points, or do you wait for VWAP? Stealth, great question. All this stuff is quote unquote taught in the trade room, and also a little bit in my 3-hour workshop, which you can watch here on YouTube, because obviously it's more than I can go into in any of these streams. The answer to profits is it's the next line, sometimes but not always. So for instance, if you, and I was just discussing that you can try multiple scenarios now if you have more than one account. The other multiple scenario you could do is imagine in a few accounts you trade 2 contracts to start, and the other one you trade 1 or whatever. So there's all kinds of different scenarios you can do to walk forward test. And by the way, that's really not possible. I mean, I'm sure some of you are super talented programmers and can figure out how to write all kinds of code that could do this, but it's easier for just a human to do this, which is to go, today I'm going to trade in 2 accounts. I'm going to trade 1 contract at the -1 and 1 contract at the -2, and in another one I'm going to trade 1 at the -1 and 2 at the -2, and I'm going to experiment with that and do all that in a walk forward manner. But back to the question, when you get long here at the -2s, your first target is the -1s. Your next target is VWAP. As a more short-term, aggressive, scalp it, whatever you want to call it. Now, here's why VWAP is not a target today. Can anyone tell me why? I can tighten this up a little bit, but why is VWAP not a target today? I have to wait 20 seconds before someone answers. But I want to see if anyone knows the answer to why VWAP is not a target today. Why is VWAP not a target today? Right, it hasn't been touched. Sloping down is a good answer too. It has a slope, but it's not the one we're looking for. Is it hasn't been touched. Okay? Don't have targets for the session that you're trading in that haven't been touched. That's just hope and prayer, right? So it hasn't been touched. The slope is a good thing to look at too. But so the slope actually sets up better for 44 521's VWAP to be a short if it got up there. We have 3 more minutes till market on close orders. So, as is usually the case, I take a long time giving the answer. So the answer is you go line to line from there to there, or if you got long here, then VWAP would be your target. But since I just said that VWAP is not a target today, if you got long from, let's say the market came up here, reversed a little bit, did a pullback, and you got long at the -1s, rather than VWAP, you could just kind of look left and scalp right off of these levels right here, and then leave a runner in case it could get up there. Now, real quick, since the question also is how to do risk management, the risk management for one-to-one reward to risk is, and remember, this is dynamic. It's not like all this nonsense where you're just looking left and picking structure and saying that there was smart money that did something there, and that was because a corgi in Japan farted, and that's why that went down, and whatever the hell people say. They love to come in and look left and come up with all kinds of nonsense for past price action. I don't give a shit about past price action. That's not entirely true. Of course, I look left and I consider what higher time frames are, but for the most part, trade the frickin' hard right edge of the chart. Not in a way that's predictive. I have no idea what's going to happen. Every tick is random. It doesn't matter, but trade the hard right edge of the chart. Have a dynamic entry, which happens to be -2. You know where your target is, measure the distance between -2 and your target, and then put your stop at least a 1-to-1 reward to risk. No one teaches that. By the way, over here on the NQ, let me put in my target in case it rips up there.
Order submitted.
We have touched VWAP many times today on the NQ. All right, there we go. There's the market on close orders. All right, I answered that question. Where's the interview? You know I also don't have to panic when we lose connection, correct? Can you increase the size with low volatility in the mix when sized up to 2? Sure. The lower the volatility, the more size you can take on. Great question, and I answered it quickly. Trade fewer options, and when I say, I mean on the short side. Being long delta is not something you should do very much. So I trade a lot less options in low volatility environments because you're not really getting paid for the potential risk that you're taking or an expansion in volatility. Oh, there we go. See, now this one we got some more contracts on there. You downloaded Tickblaze and it's only giving me delay. Yeah, Tickblaze doesn't have real-time data. You have to connect it to a prop firm. So you have to go to any prop firm that supports Rhythmic. I would suggest PropShop, but you can choose whatever you want. And then connect your Rhythmic account. They're not going to give you real-time data for a free platform. Do you have $5 for each day plan in case I don't make it every day? Yes. There you go, Thumper. You want to? No, but if you're going to do it that way, we need to do, it's a lot like, if you only do 1 or 2 nights at your Airbnb, you're going to pay full rate. If you go for the whole week, they'll give you a little discount. So $25 a day. $30 a week, no, $50 a week, $149 per month. I do have monthly plans, so you can join for a month. All right, we answered that. A lot of good. Dale's mentioning we never got above. We never got above -1 either. That's true. I mean, we've been hugging the downside here. Hugging it. Oh, I need to change this to ticks. I realize that I have it set to price. Where is that? Summary unit is ticks. There we go. It's better. Let's do it here too. All right, so I have still resting an order down here on the S&P for -2, 62.88. For educational purposes, I will leave this on. In normal circumstances, I wouldn't. Well, as I say very often, in normal circumstances, I wouldn't be doing too much near the close very often at all. The one adage that I don't think is true at all is like schmoes open the market and pros close. That's not true. Pros close. There's very little volume
Order
after
filled.
the. Ooh, there we go. Whoops.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
Just joining, I want to point out the most important thing about today. There's 2 things. The first is, this is key. If you do not abide by a daily risk budget, none of the other stuff happens. Green happens as a result of managing risk. The second most important thing is to listen to someone, not me, but one of the members of our community, in the most humble, straightforward way you can, talk about this exact thing. He must have said it 3 times as I was asking him questions. What was the key? What really changed for you? What advice would you provide? And he went back to the same thing. Abide by a daily risk budget that's reasonable, and when it happens, you will get to the point where you really just don't care. All right, we got about 5 more minutes left. If there's any questions, fire them in there. I got the same position on over here, so
Order modified.
not a great close for the bulls.
Order filled.
Any treasury traders in the house? Sold a lot of 110s for tomorrow. 110 puts. It's about 20 ticks from here. So my question to you, is the ZN going to go below 110? Yikes. Probably now that I'm involved. Let's see here. I don't know. I kind of like it. I kind of see some resistance here, but I might be biased.
Order filled. Order filled.
I may be biased.
Order filled. Order filled.
I may be biased. Anyway, for a short put or long position in the ZN to work out, I need this to slow the F down up here. Do not want to see 450 tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna get a fill down here, and then right at the close, I'm just gonna close everything. Close it all. All right, we got long long the S&P here. And since I'm already long the Dow and those are correlated instruments, I'm just going to close that.
Filled.
We'll make money if the Dow pops as well. So
Position
Order
synchronized.
filled.
all right, I want to make sure that I do not have. Yeah. There we
Order
go.
canceled.
I canceled that order. Oops, what the hell is that? Ooh, that's good.
Order filled.
Which VPS do I use or recommend? I use several of them. The one that I use the most is called Ninja Trader Mobile, which is a bad name. Well, they name it whatever they want, but it's right here. Partners
Order
and
filled.
right here. So I have the biggest plan, which is this one right here, but I know a lot of people can't afford a dedicated server. But it has 32 gigs of RAM, which is pretty important if you're going to run a lot of stuff on it. So it's called Ninja Trader Mobile. I mean, it's just a VPS. You can obviously do anything you can do with any VPS. All right, there's the close. Right around now. And I will typically, so see this one here. See, if you let one go, that's the risk there. So do we get a little pop here or does it go lower? I don't know. but I'm going to close it in just a moment.
Order
There we
filled.
go. Lost money in that account today.
Order filled.
Dow traders will know that near the close, the Dow generally doesn't do a whole lot. I'm going to wait about 4 or 5 minutes and then just close it. I'm not trying to break even or anything on this trade. It's rare that you're going to get any Dow news that'll move it around. The Nasdaq can really move around, of course, right after the close. So we'll see here. Yeah, I'm just going to close it here. Let me see here. Yeah, close.
Order filled.
All right, made about $340 across 10 accounts, lost a little in a few others, and then had the max drawdown, daily drawdown allowed in others. I like to go over here and cancel all orders, and then that will be it. All right, everybody, stay green and trade like you mean it. Thanks for joining. I stream Tuesday through Thursday from noon to 1 o'clock. That's on the left coast out here in Las Vegas. Remember to always stay green, trade like you mean it. We'll see you at the next one. Thanks. Bye.